Welcome back to the 80th episode of the BatChums podcast. I'm Drew Leiter, and joining me tonight is my co-host, the man, the myth, the new legend, Mike Gordon.
Howdy. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
We've got this is the second three-parter. So we don't have three-parters very often, but this is one of them.
I don't know, for some reason I'm in the mood for some soup.
I don't know. Is that going to be Mortimer soup?
Could be. All right, so this is Batman Season 2, Episode 44, Penguin's Disastrous End. Episode aired Thursday, February 2nd, 1967, directed by James B. Clark and written by Stanford Sherman.
So according to the research that I did, there were alternate titles considered for this final installment. One of them was Penguin and Marcia's Disastrous End. Another one was Penguin and Marcia Reach a Dead End, and Penguin and Marcia Fail to Blend. So I'd say out of all of those, Penguin and Marcia Reach a Dead End. I was kind of that one was seems more appropriate, and it still sticks with the rhyming theme. So I would have leaned more towards that than Penguin's Disastrous End, but you know, or even Penguin's Dead End if you don't want to include Marcia in there. So, but it is kind of a bummer that Marcia's not in any of the titles.
Yeah, that is a
Penguin,
bummer.
Penguin. I mean, granted, now Marcia was hardly in last week's episode, so I don't know if she warranted being in the title. But yeah, it is a proper team up. I mean, sure, it's Penguin's scheme and everything, but Marcia's there, so give her some props.
When we last saw the Can Crusaders, they were locked in suits of armor about to be pressed into paperweights by a gigantic hydraulic crusher. There is only one can opener that can save the dynamic duo, Magic Batman.
Magic Batman with the can opener.
Magic Batman, will Batman and Robin be crushed into paperweights? Answer, you've won this fight.
I love it when he's vague. You know, we should point out that Magic Batman is smart enough to hedge his bets. So he really is like the smartest one in this room, out of the three of us, I think, Drew.
I think so.
He's 10 steps ahead.
The workman opens the crusher to reveal a large smashed cube of metal. Suddenly, to the workman's surprise, sparks start shooting out the top of the cube. Holy Christmas present! Batman and Robin pop out holding blowtorches. The worker wonders how Batman was able to stay alive in that crusher. It develops 100,000 pounds of pressure. Batman and Robin were able to reach their utility belts. They always keep emergency bat air pumps for pumping up the Batmobile tires. They countered the hydraulic pressure with air pressure. As the crusher increased its pressure, it automatically increased the counter air pressure. Batman and Robin were able to maintain a small safety space inside the scrap metal cocoon.
Yeah, I got really confused there, Drew, because he's holding a torch. You said he has a torch in his hand, and yet he says it's an air pressure pump. And I'm like, and neither of those things is really something feasible to put in a utility belt. So this one I'm going to chalk up to another one of being kind of just ridiculous.
Yes. Now, I got a question for you. Do you remember back in season one, the Batmobile getting a flat tire and then pumping itself back up?
Kind of. That does sound familiar. Goodness gracious, I didn't know I was going to be quizzed. Yeah, yeah, that sounds familiar.
So why would they need air pumps in their utility belts?
Hey, they're always prepared, Drew. Batman is always prepared. So don't second guess Batman. I mean, look, they came in handy, right?
Yep. Back at Aunt Hilda's basement, Penguin has his henchmen put the priceless armor in her safe. Aunt Hilda and Marcia, Queen of Diamonds, return after looking for old toads. Marcia is not happy that the penguin called them dizzy. Aunt Hilda is even less thrilled that Penguin's henchmen are cluttering up her cave. Penguin states that Aunt Hilda's potion is essential to his grand finale plan, which is to break into the sub treasury building. There is $10 million worth of gold, and the guards are as dangerous as sharks.
Yeah, I it's kind of weird. I just don't, yeah. I never get the feeling that they're threatened by anybody but Batman and Robin. So this is kind of strange that he feels like, "Oh my God, I really need this." But he does say that uh that they can't use the suit of armor again because that's no good. And we'll see if that comes to fruition, his prediction there. But also, I love the scene where too where he's telling the goons to put in the suit of armor in the safe, and one of the henchmen says, "Hey, don't you trust us?" and, and Penguin's like, "You got any more stupid questions?" Get him in there, you think, or whatever. And I just thought that was pretty fun. Penguin is just a delight, man. He's Burgess Meredith is great, and it's great to see him in the room with Marcia and Aunt Hilda. I think it's funny you have the three of them kind of go back and forth. They're just like yeah, more of this, please. I like the interaction between all of them.
Yes, I do too. And honestly, this is the first time we've seen Aunt Hilda with any other villains besides Marcia.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, last she wasn't in much of last week's, but that was the first time I think we'd ever seen Aunt Hilda outside of her little area
Her
with the cauldron.
Aunt Hilda begins her potion and realizes that all her lizards are gone. They must have escaped. Marcia decides she'll give the potion a little help with her dance of the seven veils.
Yeah, unless, she said at first jumps to the conclusion that Penguin's men must have ate him. And which Marcia's like, I don't think so. But
It's funny. It's funny how many things they bring up here in this beginning sequence that come to fruition later.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we've established that Stanford Sherman is a pretty sharp writer too. And he's really good at these things as well. And I think he's captured the voice of the Penguin and Marcia in particular very well. So and it just stems down from there. So there's a lot of stuff like we mentioned with the end of the cliffhanger being resolved, which is kind of ridiculous, not maybe the show's finest hour, but the interplay between the characters still continues to be really, really fun.
That I agree with. Back at Commissioner Gordon's office, Batman and Robin learned that when Penguin broke into the Hexagon, all he stole were old plans dating back to World War II. Chief O'Hara reports that the police switchboard is flooded with calls about hundreds of lizards running around the park. It has to be Marcia and Aunt Hilda. Batman and Robin decide to check it out.
Yeah, the hundreds. So Anna Hilda just didn't have like a few lizards in there. She had hundreds. That's a lot to be missing.
That is a lot.
Wonder,
Meanwhile, in
no, I was just thinking, wonder how big those lizards were. We don't actually see them, which is kind of like, and still no, I'm waiting for Mortimer to pop back up. And no Mortimer sighting either.
nope, I think he was one and done.
I'm sad.
Meanwhile, in the basement of the sub treasury building, the armed guards begin to hear music. They turn around to find Aunt Hilda sitting on some purple pillows playing a horn. Next to her is a large basket that Marcia pops out of, performing her famous Dance of the Seven Veils. The guards have become mesmerized with her.
So it just so happens that this is not the first time that Carolyn Jones has done this kind of thing. And there's an episode of The Addams Family from 1965 called Gomez the Cat Burglar. Interesting. Gomez the Cat Burglar. Um, that'll seem really, really I don't know if ironic's the right word, but that's going to seem really, really interesting like soon.
Next week.
So, yeah, anyway, there's an episode called Gomez the Cat Burglar, and in that episode, Morticia, played by Carolyn Jones, uses music from a snake charmer's flute to entrance the police, allowing her husband Gomez to escape from being arrested. So this is not the first time that Carolyn Jones has used this kind of technique. I did find that really interesting, and I am seeking out that episode, Gomez the Cat Burglar, to watch as well, and add that to. I've seen all of the episodes of The Addams Family. I have them all on DVD, as we've shouted out before. I definitely recommend people check that out, especially in spooky season time of year. But yeah, I don't remember that one in particularly, so I'll have to give that one a watch. But that is kind of fun stuff, especially when we mentioned earlier this season that this season alone there would be three appearances, or there would be appearances by three of the cast members of the Addams Family. And we already saw Lurch pop up out of a window a few episodes ago. And now we're getting Carolyn Jones. Check that box off. And yes, as Drew hinted, we know that John Astin is coming soon. So, spoiler there for an upcoming episode.
The penguin and his henchmen sneak into the vault with some equipment hidden under bed sheets. At the park, Batman and Robin are staring at a manhole in which 20 people report to have seen lizards coming out of. Batman thinks they will find what they want at the other end of it. Batman pulls out his batarang and rope, and the dynamic duo climb down to find one of Penguin's henchmen trying to break into the safe containing the priceless suits of armor.
Okay, you're
Rob,
kind of right there. Because Batman brings out the Batarang with the rope tied on it, and he puts it down the manhole cover. Robin goes in the manhole, but outside we never see Adam West go down the
I know
manhole.
this. I was going to bring that up too because he never ties it to anything. He just
Yeah.
holds it.
No, and Bert doesn't use it. He just uses, I guess, the manhole ladder or whatever is under there to go under there. So I think, I don't know if Adam was at the point where maybe they were just like, okay, that's all we got the shot, that's fine. Once we see Bert, we go, that's fine. But or Adam's just like, I'm not going down there. So, but yes, now we do see Batman and Robin both arrive at or in Aunt Hilda's lair.
Robin puts the cuffs on the thief.
Bat
The
cuffs.
thief's yeah, bat cuffs. The thief states that Batman will never break into that safe. 3 seconds later, Batman has opened the safe. The thief is surprised that Batman opened the safe. Batman states it's not difficult if you have steady nerves and a good ear. Quality is destroyed by the tenor of criminal life.
Yep, it's just one more reason why you shouldn't go to crime.
The
'Cause you
thief
won't be able
brag
to break into a safe.
the thief brags that the laughs on Batman. The suits of armor are nothing compared to the haul that the Penguin is getting right now. The thief realizes he has said too much. Wait, the thief realizes he has said too much, states that he might steal, but he doesn't squeal. The Penguin said that after this caper, Gotham City is going to be in the soup. Batman thanks the thief. He just told him where the penguin is. The thief just looks at Batman confused. Batman relocks the safe and Robin handcuffs the thief to the safe door. And here's another lazy scene because all we do is see the thief's back to the safe, but we never see them attached to the
Yeah,
safe
yeah. Well, you
because
know.
there's really no good place to attach them.
Right.
Back at the Batcave, Robin wonders how the thief's remark told Batman where Penguin is. Batman clarifies that it wasn't the thief's remark, but what the Penguin had said. Knowing the Penguin's twisted mind, it could only mean one thing: bullion. Penguin is undoubtedly at Sub Treasury building at this very moment. Batman decides to call Chief O'Hara.
Yeah, a couple things here. One, I'm surprised they're back at the Batcave, because it just seems odd. Like, why do you need to go? I mean, if Batman knows where the Penguin's going to be, why do they need to go back to the Batcave first? Um, and but then when he's talking to Robin, Batman almost acts like he's not sure either. So he has Robin go through all the names of soup that he can name. And then when Robin finally names Bullion, he's like, Bullion, you know? And he's like, exactly, like, but I don't, he sort of like says that, and like, it's almost like, oh, I just got it myself. And so, yeah, it seems kind of weird. But on that front, it is weird. But I do appreciate that in this three-parter, we're not depending on the back computer. You know, we've talked back and forth this season about sometimes they depend a little bit too much. Certain writers, I think, depend too much on the back computer to just spit out the answers. I like it more when the dynamic duo figures it out, between them. And I like the scene for that aspect of it. The fact that they're not relying on the computer, they're trying to get to it themselves. Obviously, this could go 100 different ways, and it doesn't really make sense in terms. It's sort of bat logic once again. But I take bat logic over the having the bat computer do it any day of the week.
Back at the Treasury sub basement, Aunt Hilda continues to play her horn while Marcia dances in front of the guards, throwing Aunt Hilda's potion in their faces from her compact. The guards are mesmerized by Marcia, counting as she removes her veils. When she gets down to the last veil, Penguin motions for her to join him. The guards beg Marcia to stay, but she blows more potion from her compact into her faces. The guards become immobilized.
Ah, we were one veil away, Drew. One veil away. Woo. I'm telling you what, Carolyn Jones. Carolyn Jones. That's all I'll say, man. Carolyn Jones.
Marcia and Aunt Hilda join Penguin at the entrance to the vault. Marcia is relieved that the penguin was done because she was down to her last veil. Suddenly, Batman and Robin show up. Penguin, Marcia, and Aunt Hilda retreat into the vault, locking the door behind them. Chief O'Hara comes rushing into the sub basement of the Treasury, apparently by himself. He wonders if he is too late. Batman states the chief is just in time.
For a change.
Yeah, for a change. But I thought that was weird. He came down there all by himself. I'm like, where's your backup there, buddy? You
Oh,
planning on
he's gonna have some backup real soon. A lot of backup.
that we never see?
No, no. You know, Drew, thank goodness for that, because then I'd have to name all 200 actors and go over everything they've done, and the show would be 4 hours long. So
Commissioner Gordon.
you should be thankful that the show doesn't have a bigger budget for extras and policemen around the building.
Commissioner Gordon appears next, informing Batman his men have recovered the stolen armor from Aunt Hilda's basement. Robin adds it's only a matter of time before they recover the penguin. There's only enough air in the vault to last a couple of hours. Chief O'Hara can't wait to get his mitts on that cackling bird.
So, and now you just reminded me because I was so mesmerized by Marcia and her dancing that I forgot to mention that the two of the security guards, the ones that have speaking roles, one of them is played by Don Hannum, who really didn't do a lot more of acting. He only acted in like a handful of things, so this was basically his highlight. But he was around from 1934 to 2016. But the other one is of note, and that is he was played by he's just listed as security guard number two, and he was played by Andy Romano. And Andy Romano had a pretty distinguished career with over 100 credits on the IMDb. He's most notable for being in like I think a season and a half of Hill Street Blues. He played a character called Briscoe, and he's in a bunch of episodes of that. He also did. He worked with Stephen Bochco again in another follow-up series, I think later on, where he was in a bunch of episodes of NYPD Blue, which I think was Stephen Bochco as well. So he did a lot of work that way. But yeah, he pops up in a lot of stuff as well. So most people might recognize him from various things. But yeah, I think for our purposes, geeky purposes, Batman is his claim to fame for us. But he was notable as well.
6 hours later, Batman, Robin, Chief O'Hara, and Commissioner Gordon are still waiting on the Penguin and his men to come out of the safe. Commissioner Gordon is wondering how they are breathing inside the safe.
I have a question.
Inside,
I know what I'm wondering. Why don't they just open the safe and nab him?
yeah, that was one of the things I was thinking about too, because if Batman's such a crack safe opener, why couldn't he
Exactly.
open that one?
We just established that Batman can open a safe. And the security guards are there too, so they could open the safe. I don't understand why the safe, like they're just waiting around, hoping that the Penguin opens the safe. That's not the way, that's not how safes work, right? Like you don't go open them from the inside. Now, if they had just put a line in there to say that we can't open the safe because the Penguin did something, then that would be fine, right? That would be great. We can, you know, but no, we don't have any explanation as to why they just are standing around there waiting. I mean, they have him trapped, and yet they don't just go in and get him. So that's kind of I'll call that a plot hole. They could have fixed that pretty easily, if they'd wanted to, paved over that, but they chose not to, which, in this show, I guess it's understandable. They don't do that sometimes, but it just was frustrating. I was just kind of like, why don't you just open the safe and get him? Why are you waiting around for 3 days? Oh, sorry. You haven't got to that yet, but that's for 3 days.
I know. Crazy. Inside the safe, Penguin turns the knob on a tank of fresh air. They have plenty to finish the job. Penguin is sick of Aunt Hilda playing her horn. He tells her she should try biting her nails.
Yeah, I love Aunt Hilda, by the way, but that would get old. 3 hours of her like snake charming, like that would get old, especially if Marsha wasn't dancing to it. I'd be like, come on, man. Like, don't you know something else, like an Irish jig or something? So, yeah, she's definitely wearing out her welcome.
I, Batman wonders why Penguin let them trap him so easily. Batman is sure it has something to do with the plans he stole from the Hexagon. Commissioner Gordon states he can't blow a hole in the side of the safe. There are 200 officers stationed outside.
That's the scene where and forgive me if you haven't gotten to yet, because I think that's the scene where is that the scene where Batman kind of loses his cool a bit?
It, it might be.
where Commissioner Gordon says, "What is he like doing in there?" And Batman's like, "I don't know." And I think Chief O'Hara says something like, "How is he doing? What's he doing for food? I don't know." And then Robin goes, "What?" And Batman just goes, "I don't know." Like
Yeah. Yeah, Batman is getting a little impatient.
yeah, he was Batman lost his cool a little bit. If I was you could kind of see O'Hara and Gordon like, "Oops, we kind of stepped on his cape there."
Robin gets out his bat sound amplifier. Holy stereo! He tells Batman to listen. They hear pounding. Back at Wayne Manor, Aunt Harriet and
They hear
Alfred.
pounding and they hear Aunt Harriet going like and Harriet's like playing the flute and they're probably like, what is going on in there?
Back at Wayne Manor, Aunt Harriet and Alfred learn from the news that this is the third day that the Penguin and his men have been holed up inside of the Treasury Vault. Aunt Harriet wonders what he could be doing inside of there. Alfred adds that their law enforcement agencies are probably wondering the same thing.
Okay, I think
I'm
here's where we go, right?
I'm wondering why she doesn't Aunt Harriet isn't wondering where Bruce and Dick are.
They've been gone for three
Three
days.
days.
Are they locked in the safe too? I don't think, all right, I don't think Batman and Robin are just hanging around for 3 days. I mean, maybe, but they're going to have to take bathroom breaks and food and stuff like that too, right? So they must, they're probably not there for the whole 3 days.
Yeah. They're probably having to, even with all the 200 cops. You can't keep 200 cops out there forever. They have to be rotating them around a little bit.
I, there's a crime spree all over Gotham. Well, the two, because I can't imagine there's, I mean, granted, there's probably thousands on the force because it is a big city, but big chunk of your police force is hanging around this building.
Inside the vault, Aunt Hilda is cooking a batch of toad stew. Penguin is not thrilled that they are having toad stew again.
It's her best batch of toad stew, by the way, she says. It's not just any toad stew, Drew. It's her best.
Marcia asks Penguin if he knows how much vitamin B there is in the average toad. Penguin
Twice
di-
the daily minimum requirement, by the way.
Penguin just turns his head in disgust.
I
And
mean,
don't blame me there, Penguin.
yeah, I don't think this is the first time they've had to eat it either. So, yeah, they're getting pretty tired of toad stew, which I
I'm
would,
sh-
yeah, I'm with you. I'm not on board with that.
no, I'm sure the penguin prefers fish anyways.
Yeah, especially if it's old toad stew. Yeah, that's no, not something I'd want to participate in.
Batman thinks Penguin is going to make his move soon. He decides to check the outside of the building again. Robin, Chief O'Hara, and Commissioner Gordon all go with him. Like, I'm like, why is everybody going with Batman? Now all of a sudden nobody's guarding the front of the safe.
Oh, there's still security guys there, I think.
Was there? I don't remember seeing anybody there but those four.
I mean, if you want to hang out with Batman, just you follow Batman around.
Inside the vault, Penguin's men tell him they are finished. Never count your penguins before they are latched.
That was a nice play on the food, on the line there. I appreciated that.
Outside, Batman decides that everything looks in order. Holy armadillos! A tank comes crashing through the wall of the sub-treasury building. Batman, Robin, and Commissioner Gordon take cover as the tank blasts its way down the street.
Okay, so as stunts goes, this show is kind of hit or miss. I mean, they do really cool fight sequences on, that we've talked about before, and every once in a while there'll be kind of a stunt that will be like, "Ooh, this is pretty cool." That gold tank bursting out of the wall, with Batman, Robin, and Commissioner Gordon right there in the forefront looking at it was pretty badass. I did think that was a pretty cool shot of them just like, reacting in real time to a, a gold tank just bursting out of the wall. I thought that was pretty awesome.
That was awesome. It's a solid gold tank. Those were the plans Penguin stole from the Hexagon. Chief O'Hara runs to his patrol car, stating he will stop that mangy bird if it's the last thing he ever does. Chief O'Hara pulls his patrol car in front of the tank. The tank runs over Chief O'Hara's patrol car. Batman, Robin, and Commissioner Gordon rush to the flat patrol car. With the help of several patrolmen, the wreckage is moved. Chief O'Hara climbs out of the hole in the street. He never thought he'd see Batman's face again.
Like, not no love for the commissioner there. But I did really like that exchange too, where they're kind of watching they're building up the suspense of what's going to happen to him. Robin says he'll be crushed like a walnut, and Commissioner Gordon says, "The brave fool." Like he just is like sort of like in awe of him, but yet also kind of making fun of him, like idiot. But it is one of the bravest things we've ever seen Chief O'Hara do, I think. The stupidest thing, sure, like, okay, park the car, but get out of it. The car doesn't need you in it to stop a tank. And actually, we find out it can't even stop this tank. So, really cool image of all of that and very cartoony. Very cartoony. Felt like something you'd see in a Warner Brothers Bugs Bunny cartoon of them
Yes.
just like lifting up the flat, Wile E. Coyote territory, right? Of them
Yep.
lifting up this flattened car. And luckily, O'Hara was not in it because that was pretty grave. Like if that was like I said, sometimes this show can dip into darkness and seeing the car crushed like that, we watch this show a lot. We you can say what you want to about O'Hara, but we kind of feel attached to him and that kind of like get pulls at your strings, right? Like going, "Oh man, that looks gruesome."
Batman tells Chief O'Hara that was a brave gesture. Chief O'Hara states it is going to take more than a gesture to stop that fiend.
I got a gesture for him.
Batman and Robin chase after the tank in the Batmobile. Aunt Hilda starts firing the gun. Penguin complains because the bullets cost $50,000 apiece. Marcia tells Penguin to let Aunt Hilda have her fun.
Yeah, and the Penguin says even a millionaire blinks at $50,000. And she doesn't just blow one. She's blowing up cars all left and right. So she's getting rid of like, 50,000, 50,000, 50. It's adding up. Like I think she spends over like $300,000 on shells. So yeah, that would kind of be concerning to me too. But the look on Aunt Hilda's face as she's doing it, she's having such a good time down there. It is really kind of a fun shot of her just in the tank, like playing with those shells and everything. Like she looks like she's having a blast. Literally. That's a
Literally.
pun, and that's an intended pun, Drew.
Not Batman. Robin fires the Bazooka at the tank. It stops the tank in its tracks.
Another
One
another
shot.
good another good exchange there too is that Robin's like, well, what are we gonna do when we get there? Like how can we stop him? And he's not sure. And Batman kind of like goes, so do you think you can handle the what is it, Bazooka, right?
Bazooka.
And Robin's eyes light up like it's Christmas. He's like, I'd forgotten about that. Oh yeah, I could do it. Like he's like really. And then the image of seeing Robin with the Bazooka in the Batmobile, like about to launch it off, really badass. And then of course the firing of it, and he hits it right in the wheels, so of course it stops. Obviously if it was made of real gold, it'd be kind of soft anyway, I think, because gold is kind of soft that way. But I don't know if you can actually build. I don't know how, like, the logistically you could really build a tank out of gold. Probably not. So we're not going to talk about that. But because it looks really cool, and the whole sequence is really cool too. Like the tank goes off on the side, and then the Batmobile kind of scoops up right next to it, and then like goes right in front of it. Robin jumps out. He's still got the Bazooka in his hands. Like it just looks really cool. Like it's a really really well done scene.
That'd be cool if McFarlane had a golden tank from
I don't.
McFarlane Toys.
A gold tank would be something, I tell you what. But I mean, you could just buy a tank somewhere else and get it spray painted gold. But to your point, Robin having an accessory of a bazooka would be awesome.
Oh, that
Like
would be awesome.
that would needs to be an accessory for one of the figures. If it doesn't come with the Batmobile, the proper Batmobile from McFarlane, then Robin should have it as an accessory. I would put that on a list of accessories that Robin should have, along with like there'd be like 20 others that both Batman and Robin should have. But the compressed air blowtorches thing that we saw in the beginning, that wouldn't be one that I would include. But but a batarang would be, and a bazooka would definitely be. Have we seen the bazooka before? It feels like we
I
have, kind of.
I I thought we had, but I can't remember what episode it would have been in.
Yeah, I know. We've been really our memories have been kind of put to the test on this one. But it did look really cool. I love that.
Penguin comes out of the tank waving a white flag. He blames Aunt Hilda for wasting their bullets. Aunt Hilda tells Penguin to be quiet or she'll turn him into a toad.
And then she asked Batman, "Should I?" And Batman's like, "Thank you, but we have other plans. That won't be necessary." But yeah.
Back at Wayne Manor, Aunt Harriet, Bruce, Dick, and Alfred are watching footage from Penguin's movie. Aunt Harriet comments that it was very nice of Batman to donate Penguin's film to the Wayne Federation of Boys Clubs. Aunt Harriet wonders what happened to the weird old lady who was related to Marcia. Bruce answers that she is back at her old post teaching a cooking class at the Bruce Wayne School of Home Economics. She would never have left in the first place if it wasn't for her niece.
Wah, wah.
Aunt Harriet thinks that Batman is quite a good actor. Bruce adds that perhaps Batman has some show business in his blood. Alfred comments, "Don't we all, sir?"
Da, da, da. And they all laugh and we cut the credits. Yeah, it's a nice little scene, although I do question like the especially the scene that they're watching, which is Marcia making out with Batman again. Um, particularly since this was one of the scenes that Aunt Harriet was concerned about as far as the League of Decency goes. So it does, she seems okay with it now. I think it's just an excuse to show Carolyn Jones's legs again, which I'm not complaining about. But Aunt Hilda seems much better about it now. And then, not Aunt Hilda, sorry, Aunt Harriet. Sorry, I got my aunts
Was it
confused.
wasn't Aunt Harriet? Aunt Harriet, I thought, had a problem with the nude scene.
She did, but I mean, I think she was not happy with the kissing scene either. But she seemed like you're right. Okay, so she seems okay with it. Still, is this the kind of material you want to show to the boys' club?
Probably not.
I mean, like, Marcia's legs there are like, yeah, the boys' club's gonna really enjoy this. So, but it's a fun little moment. And we do see, we haven't seen Alfred and Harriet for a while. So it's nice to see them not only at this last scene, but then we see them earlier in the episode as well. It's always nice to check in with them. So,
Yeah, but both scenes were very brief, I thought.
oh yeah, very brief, very brief. I mean, there's a lot going on. So, yeah, this is the end of the three-parter, our second three-parter. Obviously, I don't think it's as amazing as the first three-parter was with Penguin and the Joker. I mean, you can't. That's just a team up that rivals anything else that you could think of. But you got Penguin again, who's amazing. I think Marcia is really good in this. I think she doesn't feel like just an add-on. I think she actually adds some color, if you will, to the whole thing, and some obviously some sexiness. I mean, I dare say, I mean, she's probably outside of Catwoman, she's probably like my second favorite, sexy villainess. Although there haven't been a ton of them. Uh, Interesting that Aunt Hilda gets off free, like she doesn't have to go to jail or anything. I feel sorry for the students or people in her class that are taking that cooking class, because
I wonder if they're
her
learning how to cook toad soup.
yeah, I know exactly, among other weird concoctions. So, but Estelle Winwood's good. Carolyn Jones, like I said, is great. Burgess Meredith's great. Like I think this didn't, even though it was three parts, it still moved along pretty well, and it was fun. I agree. I think it was a lot of fun to do this, and like I said, I forgot that this one existed until we just watched these three parts, and I'm glad that they exist because I think they're pretty much, I wouldn't say top tier, but they're really close.
Yeah, it was a fun three-parter.
Yeah, there's
I have to
enough
agree.
cool things here. I mean, certainly some stuff doesn't make sense, but that's par for the course for this series. So you're not always looking for logic. But what you're looking for is really fun moments. And the each of the three parts had some really fun moments to it.
All right, well that wraps up another episode. Do you have a shout out, Mike?
I do. My shout out this week is kind of a shout out, but also kind of a disappointment, if you will. Because I looked up because it's that time of year, Drew. Christmas is or the holidays are coming up, and that's while we're recording. By the time this airs, we'll probably be right on top of the holidays. So I checked to see which Batman ornaments the Hallmark was going to have as part of their lineup this year. And unfortunately, there don't seem to be any that are Batman new ones anyway, that are Batman 60s six specific.
Hmm.
So they do still have on the Hallmark site, they do still have last year's. So last year's, if you remember, was the Batcave with basically the Wayne study and the Batcave, the poles. So you could actually you could see the figure slide down the poles. It had audio to it as well. That's still pretty pricey if people want it. I don't have one yet, so that would be a nice Christmas gift to have. But yeah, so they still have that available, and they still have a lot of others available that are 60s related. I saw a Joker one that looks really good. There's one with Batman holding up the Bat Shield, which is really fun. So if you're missing some, they do still have some in inventory. But the only two Batman related ones that I saw that were new this year from Hallmark, one was from the Batman the Animated Series, and that one looked pretty cool. If you're looking for a Batman animated series figure, ornament figure, um, to have on your tree, that one's there. And then they have the bat signal. Bat signal is there. I don't know if it actually, I think it does light up. So I don't know if it actually projects onto a wall, but I think it lights up. And that you could put that on your bat tree because I know you have a bat tree or a superhero tree themed tree, right?
Yep.
Every year.
So it has Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, all sorts of heroes on there.
Gotcha. So it's a crossover.
Yep, it's a crossover.
It's an amalgam tree. Um, And so yeah, yeah, I give a shout out to Hallmark because they've got, cool, fun ornaments. There's a lot of other pop culture ornaments that they have, of course, that they do every year, Star Wars and Wonder Woman and Superman and all that. Fantastic Four. I saw a bunch of really cool ones. Star Trek as well. So yeah, and a lot of these ones sell out, so you have to get them like pretty early. Yeah, if you wait till the after Christmas sale where they're usually 50% off, although I don't know if Hallmark still does that, sometimes you're out of luck because they either take them off or they take them out of inventory or they just run out. So, but I kind of was disappointed that there's not a new one 60s related this year. So I kind of have to deduct some marks for that, but usually the Hallmark stuff is pretty fun.
All right. And for my shout out, I'm going to shout out about the Earth Station DCU / BatChums Patreon because Mike and I are reviewing Batman Death in the Family. So if you want to see our review on that, because we're reviewing all four issues of Death in the Family. So if you want to check that out, check out our Patreon. So it's been pretty fun reviewing it. It's been a while since I've read it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it was a good read. I read it when it came out, and I revisited a few times. So it's interesting to revisit it this time and talk all about it, and especially in relation to the 60 series. There aren't a lot of tie-ins there, but of course, Robin, no matter who he's played by or who is Robin, is a very cool character, and what happens to him in this storyline is groundbreaking.
Yeah, it was. It was a big deal at the time, for sure. Something that had never been done before.
Absolutely.
All right. If you'd like to comment on anything we've talked about tonight, you can reach us at our feedback line, 317-455-8411. Text us, leave us a message, or you can email us at batchumspodcast@gmail.com. All right. You ready to get out of here, Batchum?
BatChums are ready to move out in our gold tank.
Atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed. Watch where you're shooting. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
What am I saying? I don't have enough money. I don't even have enough money to cover a shell, let alone a whole a gold tank. So, but don't worry, listeners and viewers, the riddles are yet to come.